Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry's House of Payne review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to, but if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this thing. Now, this is season 14, episode 14, entitled A Brother's Love. This was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm not expecting this review to be too long. So let's just, get right into it. So the girls, they're having a brunch. Janine did a beautiful job with the decorations. It was gorgeous. And I thought it was really cute. So when Miranda comes, Miranda is looking how she looking. She got that look. She got that look. We all know what that look is. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. And so it was just hilarious to me because everyone was expecting for there to be some alcohol, some liquor of some sort in these mocktails that Janine made. And I was hollering with laughter because I could understand. I don't drink. The last time I had a drink, I had a shot last November for Thanksgiving with my family. And before that, I hadn't had a drink in 5 years. Just a personal decision for me not to drink. Really not a big fan of it. I've only been drunk, I think, twice in my life. Just not a big fan of alcohol. But I will do exactly what Janine did. Baby, I will put some Pepsi up in a wine glass, water, ginger ale. That's pretty much all I drink. I don't drink juice unless it is freshly squeezed by me or somebody else that I know it came fresh. But other than that, I don't drink juice either. And baby, I will put anything in a wine glass, sip it like it's wine, have my little moment. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your own self-care. But I thought it was really funny. But we know that Janine doesn't drink for, other reasons. And so, and for those that don't, because I'm not going to assume everyone knows, for those that don't, we know that Janine is a recovering addict and she just doesn't put herself in certain positions when it comes to alcohol and the possibility of going backwards. So Janine Payne does not drink. Now back to Miranda. Everyone was able to pick up on the energy that baby girl was putting down. Okay, so she lets them know that she has met someone and they were all excited for her and happy for her. But the moment that Miranda said that man's name was Javante, I knew they were going to have something to say about that man's name. But I'm like, let me just go ahead and say everybody name who ends in a Tay or Isha, baby, they are not ghetto or hood. But I thought that was funny because that was very stereotypical. And as black people, we understood. We all understood. Because I was like, Javante. I said, well, dang, how old is he? Because normally Javante, Levante, Imonte, whatever, those are kind of like I would say 33 and under age range. So I'm like, Miranda, baby, are you robbing the cradle? Because how old is this man? But then when we met him, him and Miranda are pretty much around the same age. But I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was a young tender initially, but he wasn't. Now over at Calvin's, Junior and Christian are in the mode of fighting all the time. They even had a fight at CJ's when they were in the backyard. And Hayden came in to tell his dad that, hey, Junior and Christian are outside fighting. Like and I know, it could be the saying that boys will be boys, but it happens when they play fight, they act like they don't like each other, and then they're gonna be lovable the next. And so even with that, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation that Calvin had with Curtis, because to Calvin's standpoint is more, or his vantage point is more so, look, I need help, I'm not doing a good job, I need a book. And I love how Curtis reassured him in his fatherhood, like, hey, there is no book. There is no manual. You basically do what you know is right. If you are a good father, you're going to do good by your children. And that's really it. And I think that a lot of times parents, no one knows what to do. You want to do what you feel is beneficial and best for your children, with the hopes that those who parented before you can give you some much needed wisdom in you parenting your kids. And then you take what you take, because everything that your parents did, you may not want to implement that into your parenting style, but you take what you take And what you don't need, you don't use. And so I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed that father-son moment between Calvin and Curtis to let him know, like, hey, son, you're going to be all right. Your boy's going to be all right. Don't overthink it. Don't do too much. Be there for them. Put them on punishment when need be. And then you get on with the rest of your day. But in the midst of Calvin talking to CJ, he lets it be known they're checking on him. Like, hey, how you doing? We know Laura is no longer there. Calvin says, even though Laura and I were engaged and it's over, I find myself thinking more about Miranda now than Laura. I said, what you doing, son? What you doing, Calvin? Because we not. And I may have like a different opinion about this than a lot of people, which is fine. I don't necessarily want Calvin and Miranda together. Like, I really don't. Like, even if that is the ultimate goal, is to put them back together. Again, I have not watched this show in a long time, so I don't know if Miranda has been in a serious relationship after Calvin, or if she has entertained other men in a serious way, or just enjoying her single life. I really don't know. And sometimes it's different for women, especially when you are the primary parent, so the child is with you majority of the time, and introducing another man into that dynamic can be difficult. It can be challenging. So I don't know, but I am happy for Miranda. I want Miranda to have somebody, because again, some people may not agree with this opinion of mine, and it's perfectly fine. She spends too much damn time at the Paynes. Like, I get it. It's for the show, and I understand having a healthy dynamic with your child's other side of the family. Like, I get that, but sometimes it could be a little team too much. I'm sorry, that's just me. It could be a team too much. I understand they love Miranda, she is forever a part of the family, but again, this is a show, and there are people whose lives mimic this or mirrors this, or you may have a very close relationship with your ex-in-laws. Even with my mom, I get it. My parents known each other since they were in elementary school. My grandparents literally lived in the same neighborhood, 6 houses away from each other. So y'all know how I got here, okay? And my mom had a good relationship with my paternal grandparents. Even then, it was still a form of respect there. She wasn't always at their house. Like, she could pop up whenever she wanted to. It was no problem. But I think Miranda, for me, it's team too much. But I am glad that Miranda found someone. And so we meet Javante. Now, CJ wasn't supposed to be home. So Miranda comes over with Javante so that Janine can meet him, but it didn't go as planned. Because, of course, we got nosy ass CJ, who's asking this man 1,000,001 questions. Where is your condo located? I said, sir, you just met this man. You asking him where he live. CJ, I need you to calm down, sir. Calm down. So Janine finally makes it home. She's an hour late, but she makes it home, and she is overly excited to meet Javante. She lets Miranda know that, hey girl, you did good. He cute, whatever. But CJ is still trying to figure out who the hell is Javante and what is his dynamic with Miranda. Now, they all knew what was popping, what was going on, but that's just how family works. So then Malik comes in with Lisa and their baby. Who is this? We trying to find out what kind of time Javante on. Who is this guy? And I thought it was just really nice. And like, again, I said, I'm happy for Miranda. Javante seems to be a cool person. And I hope that she is enjoying everything that comes with this new type of relationship. Now, the one thing I didn't understand was a pseudo date. Like, I understand as far as the definition of what it means, but I don't agree. I don't understand the purpose of them. That's just me. I'm with Janine and Miss Ella. Like, a what, baby? It's either a date or it's not. What the hell is a pseudo date? And Jasmine tells Miranda, like, girl, I get it. I understand. I don't. Baby, it was a date or it's not. We're together or we're not. We're vibing or we're not. We're getting to know each other or we're not. What is it? I don't like no pseudo nothing. Ain't no gray area, boo boo. It's black or white. What is it? And it's okay if we're not on that level of relationship. We're getting to know each other, but we're not pseudo anything. I don't understand that at all. Now, at the end, Christian and Junior have their little come to Jesus moment. Christian is about to leave. Miranda's outside. Calvin decides to walk him down. Now, this is what I'm curious about. I'm like, okay, so when Calvin goes to walk Christian down to Miranda, is Javante going to be in the car? Is this going to be Calvin's first time seeing Javante? Because earlier in the episode, when CJ and Calvin are talking, we find out from Calvin that Miranda seems to be a bit more busy these days. I said, I bet. So I'm wondering how Calvin is going to respond to the possibility of Miranda having another man in her life and what may come out of that. So, child, we'll see what happened, y'all. But again, I thought this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I loved everyone's dynamic in it. I thought it was really, really good. So we shall see. I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.